Stand by. On the morning shift.
Anything could happen.
Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.
All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift. I'm not sure what's happening right now, but we're experiencing many different technical difficulties, and we're really not sure what's happening. The volume is very low on the radio for no reason whatsoever. Hang on. And trying to deal with, okay, this should be a little bit better now that I can see some volume. Not sure what happened right there, but we're here and we're sorry about the delay in time coming. Yeah, here we are. Hang on. Yeah, so that solves that, and that solves that. Interesting. This morning we went to go on our Facebook page because that's what we use. We're broadcasting live on Facebook and YouTube. But on our PCs, our Facebook page just is blank. So not sure what that means. I didn't receive any notifications of anything. So was it something we said yesterday? I'm not sure. We're grateful for the moderators from Facebook and the jobs that they do. So hopefully if something was said on the show, I would have hoped that we would have received some type of communication, which we did not. I don't know. Maybe it's just a glitch. It works on my personal page, but as soon as I go to Sudbury News' page, it doesn't work. And this morning I wanted to share a cool video that was sent to me by a teacher of this Catholic school in the Valley where a moose was going through their schoolyard, and all the students caught it on video and wanted to play it for them. And so now I'm not able to access that video in order to play it on this show. And I don't even know. I can't even monitor our own show on our page because I don't have access to that. So it's really weird. So it is what it is. So we're going to try to get through, and we only have comments so far from Denise coming through. Okay, now we have the Facebook comments coming through as well. We thought we might only have YouTube comments coming through. Not sure, but yeah, really weird. Today is going to be an interesting show because we're not used to not having our Facebook page, which we've used mainly to just navigate the show and go through the stories and play videos and things like that. So maybe they're like, hey, I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just speculating at this point. But today we're going to have a show regardless. I don't care. We're going to get through it. And I'm not going to get through it by myself. We're live on CKLU. We're live on Facebook at facebook.com/Sudbury News, even though you have access to it. I don't, which is weird. And youtube.com/Sudbury News. We're also streaming at cklu.ca. And joining us today is my good friend, Billy, who's back in the studio. And is this something that you're used to, Billy? Just like, are you used to the idea of technical difficulties going just before going live, whether it be a musical performance or a broadcast?
Yeah, it's pretty common, and normally when you fix something, you got to fix it 3 times. It works for a bit, and then it fails again. Then you got to kind of wrangle technology, herd it into the working pen kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I will say you are you would be one of the cases of study of like. Man, that's a lot of strange stuff that happens to you. So
yeah,
it's really good being kind of like a fly on the wall in this and watching.
I know
watching all the new things that I can learn of what could go wrong.
It is crazy, and I honestly don't know what's behind it, but we definitely it makes me scratch my head. Anyways, all of the different things that happen in the course of a show. And I'm now going to see if I can share my screen, which I can. So for those young ones, I think it's the fifth grade. Let's just get to this here if I can. I'm going to, if I do have access to this at the moment, while we have access, let's just see if we can get into it. And here it is. So this is the video of the moose coming from Immaculate Conception Catholic School, Valcarran, Greater Sudbury. This happened yesterday. A moose walked right into the schoolyard towards the school, stayed for some time. The excitement is caught on film by our grade 5 class, whom you can hear in the background. We were able to capture it on camera. I'm an associate student teacher in that class, and I took the video. I told the students I would share it with radio stations and news outlets to see who shared the story first. I think I did. And I'm grateful I did, because it went viral on our Facebook page, which I don't have access to right now, but I am going to share this video, and let's just see, and hopefully the audio works from it as well. Let's get this big here. Come on. There we go. So you can hear they're pretty excited about this moose just walking right through the yard. I apologize that the screen is a little bit small. Only in Northern Ontario. You can, and for those on the radio, it's a bona fide moose just walking right through the schoolyard, and pretty excited students there. So thanks for sharing that, Immaculate Conception in Valcarran. And if you have any other videos, hopefully the next time someone shares a video with us, our whole Facebook doesn't shut down on us, and we're just able to easily play it, other than a small little video on the phone. But we did it. I can't believe it. So I'm grateful that we were able to at least do that, and thanks for that. So we'll be back with some weather, sports, headlines, with seeing how we're going to do it. Today it's going to be a little different, and we'll be back with your comments, which are most important, right after this. Sudbury Weather brought to you by sudburyweather.ca. It lands on our sudbury.news website. And it's currently 0 degrees. And there's, I think there was a frost warning. Yes, there is a frost warning. You can just imagine. It's an advisory, sorry. Frost may damage some crops and frost-prone areas. Same thing as yesterday. Temperatures will drop to just below the freezing mark this morning. Hopefully it's already warmed up, and this is old news, so hopefully you don't lose any of your garden that you've planted. Today it will be sunny, high of 17. Very simple. UV index will be 6, so very high. Tonight, clear, low of +2 with a risk of frost again. And then Friday, sunny, high of 23, thank goodness, with UV index of 7 or high. Your long range, look at this, sunny, 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 sunny. Can't remember the last time I've seen this. At least this show was recorded, and we have this for all of time to go back and say, yes, there was a day. We did have a day where we forecasted 4 days in a row of sun, and then mix of sun and clouds. So 23 and sunny on Friday, 28 and sunny on Saturday, 26 and sunny on Sunday, 27 and sunny on Monday. This sounds like an Arizona weathercast. And then mix of sun and cloud, high of 27 for both Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Pretty amazing stuff. That's your Sudbury Weather, brought to you by sudburyweather.ca. Actually, we don't really have any sports to talk about, and I don't have access to it anyways, if I did share it on my Facebook page. So we'll be back with Billy, headlines, and seeing how we're going to get through this show, thinking on the fly, and your comments and all that right after this. So welcome back. And this is interesting stuff, thinking on the fly. Whether it's a software platform giant, social media giant that has glitches, or it's a computer, or it's a program, a broadcast program, or it's a little mixer, or it's the internet itself, or it's the Wi-Fi or the modem, or whatever it might be, we still manage
Life
to
has glitches. Yeah.
99% of the time go forward and do the
Yeah.
show. Incredible.
You can't access your Facebook, the Sudbury News through your personal account. Would that work?
No, it's just a blank screen. So I went.
Oh, okay.
I
thought it
used
was just
another.
you went to Sudbury News.
No, when I use another browser, it went in, and it was going to allow me to go on my personal Facebook page, and it would have been fine. But as soon as I switched the account to Sudbury News, which I shouldn't have done, I just didn't think about it, because I wanted to share that video. I just really wanted to share the video for the students. I told them that I would, and so it just went blank. The screen went blank as
I'm
soon
just
as I
saying,
did that.
don't change it to Sudbury News. Just stay as Aaron Walsh, and then you'd be able to see the page.
But once
right?
it's blank, I can't. Then I try to get in again. It's just always blank. I can't go back. I hit back and it won't go back. It's just blank screen. So because I did that, it cannot go to my personal. On my phone, I went back in my phone just as I was sharing this broadcast, and it said switch to your personal, hit OK. And I didn't. I just went to the messenger. I didn't hit anything else. It was still working, my Sudbury News account on my phone, and I wasn't going to mess with stuff. So I played it, and it was good, and it did it. And I guess we'll just see what happens if we gotta rethink things.
Try that, kind of right click and then open page in new browser, or new page or something. So it does open a whole new, the same one, but
could do that. There's many. I'm gonna have to. I guess don't have much time today.
Sort of refresh and open and close, all that stuff. But so we got.
Hopefully it's just a glitch. And we'll be able to resolve that. Now, I have a lot of people commenting already, so I just want to give some shout outs here. And thankful that you are here. Belinda is here. Good morning. Take time to soak up that sun. It's good for the soul, which it indeed is. Get your vitamin D today and throughout the week. Good morning, young man. Thank you, Wade. Appreciate that. Also, good morning, young man, to you. And Denise, change my PIN. Yeah, possibly. If I can get in to change it, I could. It did want me to change the PIN because it said it's too simple. And that's the way I like to do things. If you're getting censored, it's because you are speaking truths, and that could scare them. Oh, I don't know if I don't think I'm very scary. I can't see how I'd scare anybody. You, Billy? But I don't know.
You scare me a little bit, but no, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
Okay. Well, hopefully I'm not scaring anybody, but yeah, I don't mind speaking
just a warm,
truth.
fuzzy guy.
Exactly. I'd like to know the truth. Not that I always know it, but I'd like to find it out, and would like to ask some questions, I think. Good morning to Monique. Thanks for being with us. Miles is on. He says, hi, you're fine on Facebook now. I see you're having a fine day starting. Yeah, exactly. Crazy day starting. And I was here early too. I was here early. I was like, okay, this is great. I'll have time to get everything ready. But no, Facebook is up and coming. Cool. Dave says, thank you. Think maybe the government is trying to keep you off the air. Nope. No, I don't. Even though I do have a conspiratorial mind, meaning a mind that asks questions and doesn't just, take what's given to me. I don't think that. And if it is, oh, well, wow, I must be pretty important then. Okay. So Mona Good morning. Thanks for being with us. David, stay safe. Good morning. Thank you. And Monique, it's so cool to see wildlife. Yes, for sure. In our schoolyards. And we're grateful for that video. It was, again, right? I know you kind of lived in more rural areas growing up and stuff. Was that normal for you, Billy, just seeing moose just coming into your yard?
It's still always awesome. I've seen them a few times. I don't know if in the yard, but out in nature, and they always strike me as, my God, how huge they are.
Mm-hmm.
You don't quite get used to it. It's always a bit of
No.
a shock.
Kind of majestic too, right? There's this kind of aura around them. And so that's a great thing that we have. And there's been a lot lately. I don't know if you've noticed this on social media and just talking to people. There's been a lot of moose in the greater Sudbury area per se lately. So not sure the reasoning for that, but seems like, I know we get them pretty much every year, but it seems like this year a little more than usual. Okay, frost, go away. I have to plant my garden. Yes. Most people will feel the same way as you. Good morning, Vin. Thanks for being with us. And good morning, Jerome. Sunny ways. Definitely sunny ways. That is an ode to Justin Trudeau's campaign message from many years ago. Good morning, Diane, Aaron, and Billy. Bon matin, everyone.
Morning.
Vin says, due to my privacy settings, I have to open in browser on every link I attempt to share. Wow. That's huge. Good morning, Claire. Thanks for being with us. It's a miracle we're on today. So thanks for being here. And also, Monique, you're being targeted. Wow. I don't know. Again, am I that is it, like, if I was, I think I would take that as a compliment to some degree, that someone with power in that, that large of a scale would care about, shutting down a community radio station program that's on in the morning in a little city in Northern Ontario. I would take that as a compliment. That's fine by me. I mean, we're going to continue in whatever capacity to just, even if it's just a radio show, we're not able to live stream. I mean, we'll do whatever. And if it's not on the radio, then we'll try and live stream to whatever platform. There's a lot of platforms out there now that we need to investigate and look at. Maybe it has to be a private conversation if that's what they don't want it to be public. And because some people maybe some people feel people don't have the ability to switch a radio station or not click on something, or when they hear something, like words could be dangerous to people. I have no idea. If we have to go private and we all just meet on a private platform at some point, that may have to be the way that we have this conversation each and every morning. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, that's, the tussle of world history. And typically, like, we're so great that we've got so many platforms that we can, if they clamp down here, there's enough of there's an upstart somewhere that we can jump to that hasn't been, it's almost like you got to make the game of whack-a-mole for them so big that they can't quite get them all the time, and historically, whenever you just have like a small group controlling everything, you've got, I like that term, sort of turnkey totalitarianism. So even if it doesn't start off that way, even if it's like got good intentions and it's like, well, this is going to be really efficient and, and safe for everybody, it just seems kind of, hate to say it, kind of like human nature, that there's certain, entities that would gravitate to that position of power, and it makes it really easy for them to sort of seize that power. So I think the key to the future, and why I'm probably so positive about the future, is there is still enough of a spirit of, they're creating all these alternatives to these sort of mainstream ones. You can see them getting sort of acquired and censored, but they're limited with how they can censor, because everyone's gonna, if they go too hard too fast, you'll see big jump en masse to another one.
Yeah, true. I know Rumble has really kind of been making waves in terms of a choice for broadcasters to go where they feel they're not being censored, and it's the way social media was originally intended. If you have content that resonates with people and they share it, and it means a lot of people want to hear it. You're not saying, oh wait, this platform, the people behind the platform feel that shouldn't go viral, so we're going to stop it from doing that, and then censoring different things. And they give, I guess, to some degree, people kind of take their reasoning as, yeah, well, you know that's harmful for people to hear somehow. They don't say what it was that was said though. Usually when they're citing some situation where they had to take someone down off a platform, they don't say the very things they were saying,
Hmm.
unless it
Yeah.
was like in terms of Alex Jones, let's say, where he did make some outlandish claims. They were able to say those, and then that set a precedence after that. And then they didn't. They just said, "Oh, it's kind of like Alex Jones," and they don't have to say anything else or whatever, and just shut you down.
Yeah, but that's the classic trick that a lot of the, you know, I think historically people would use too, is you just get an agent to make outlandish claims, and
Yeah,
now you've got these kind of Reichstag fire type things like, oh, well, see, we've got to do this because of this. So I think there's
yeah,
something to be said for even allowing outlandish claims, you know.
it's true. And I think people have called out Alex
And the thing
Jones
is,
before. Yeah,
yeah, and of course, you can make a case that things are harmful, but everything's a double-edged sword. It's like you can. It's like you got to examine the both roads. Okay, if you go down that road, what could end up here? So
yeah,
I think a lot of people who are spend a lot of time in history, sort of thinking this through, have come to this kind of idea that if we want to have uh, true, what's the word? It's you know I'm going to have to
you had a brainer.
reconvene on that one. Yeah.
Well, what's the gist of it though? If you want to have truth, just explain even though you can't remember the saying.
Well, it's just an ongoing thing. It's hard to achieve, like all these sort of buzzwords, peace, freedom, security. They're very sort of malleable. You can't just like say this is the route to all of these, and we have to go here. It's kind of like
Yeah,
there is sometimes, I think, probably a constant struggle in keeping that. If you want to have freedom and peace right now are not kind of mutually exclusive.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a work in progress. I'd love to be able to articulate ideas and things without it offending a tech giant or a group of people. I'd love to be able to explain myself because I think I'm coming from an area of love and wanting people to communicate one with another, even if they have opposing opinions and ideas. I think the conversation can heal and help and
Hmm.
educate and and bring people together. And I know that's I don't know. Sometimes maybe it seems like social media, on some ways, they want to stir people up, but then at the same time, you know. So maybe that's it. I have no idea. Maybe I need to be more controversial. I have no idea. Maybe they don't like the idea of a harmonious conversation in a community where people can just share ideas with each other. I have no idea. And I'm speculating. It could just be a glitch with the program. But we know censorship does happen to different people for different reasons. And it's always, they're never really given the reason when they do it. You're shadow banned. They never explain exactly what it's for. You violated a community um, standard or whatever, and they don't say what it is. And so it would be nice if they were able to be a little bit more transparent, like everyone else in our world, government in particular. Um, Transparency, media transparency would be great. But we have to navigate through it. But I'd like to introduce everyone to our webpage. If you haven't been on it before, I'll just share it on the screen for those watching. For those listening on the radio, I'll just explain it. Sudbury.news. You go there. It's not, so the .news is the extension. So it's like it would be Sudbury.ca, but it's Sudbury.news. And basically it aggregates all of the news feeds from our local news sources in one convenient location. And so so you see here stories from Sudbury.com, many of them, any of the ones to do with something that would be deemed local. Some of them aren't. The aggregator isn't perfect, but it's, I think you can just click on. So here's local news, yeah, and all of the news shared. One thing that we wanted to talk about was the fire that happened downtown yesterday. They basically said they didn't want anyone going downtown whatsoever. Stay clear of it. It was at Oscar's restaurant, also attached to the Colson. Really bad fire. They're investigating it. But there was a cool video of them rescuing a dog out of the window that I was going to play today. But since my Facebook was down, it was hard. But maybe Sudbury.com has that video. I don't know. They have the picture. Here's the dog that was saved. Beautiful. Looks like German Shepherd Husky mix, as far as I can see. But rescued him from a second-story window downtown, which is really cool. Way to go, Sudbury firefighters. And they saved a few people as well, not just animals. They saved animals and human beings. So again, here's where it all is. The extensive police search for, this is Sudbury Star. So you click on that. It goes right to the Sudbury Star page. So that way it's promoting local journalism like we talk about, and goes right to their website. Sorry, I might have said Facebook page. But the story here is that the girl that they were looking for, officers on the scene in the area of Radar Road and Gannett Drive, looking Tuesday evening and most of the day Wednesday searching for the girl. They went on ground. They had all the police vehicles. They had people on foot looking for her. Kyla is her name. If anyone has information about her and her whereabouts, to contact police 770-675-9171. They even brought in a helicopter to help assist, but they have not been able to find her as of yet. There is a picture, and I think it's probably still on our Facebook page, or our website, sorry, and one of the news stories. So that's it there. Wanted to see if that video was anywhere to be seen, but I don't see it at the moment, fortunately. Did you get it? Okay, here we go. Maybe I'll have it here. And here we go. Got the video, guys. And you've probably already seen this. You're on the news all the time anyways. Here's the firefighters rescuing the dog from the building. Oh, now we're going to see a commercial, so I'll just put that on there. And that's CBC, which gets public funding for their broadcasting. But I guess they also make money from advertising. So here's the video here. There, Billy. There's you, Billy.
That's the thing.
And poor dog too, right? Like, you can just see he doesn't really know what's going on. Here's these strangers in yellow hats on a ladder pulling him through the window. Not something he's used to doing on a daily basis, obviously. But yeah, still cooperating though, not giving him a hard time or biting at them or anything like that. So that's kind of cool. So way to go, Sudbury firefighters. And getting that taken care of there downtown yesterday, saving lives. Also,
Pretty cool. Must have been quite a fire.
yeah, huge fire. And also, people are calling 911 on the Kingsway because of traffic being backed up. And the city says, please stop calling 911 because there's a traffic jam. Someone said in the comments on our Facebook page, when I could actually access our Facebook page, I read the comment this morning, said call 311, not 911 if you have a complaint.
Oh, maybe that's what they meant to do.
Yeah, maybe. You know, it's so similar, 9-3. It's easy to get them mixed up. So call 311, not 911 if you're...
Pretty frustrating on that Kingsway, though.
Definitely.
Yeah, I was on there a couple of days ago, and I was just gonna, I'll just turn right at the lights that were go up to chapters and stuff.
Yeah.
For some reason, they blocked that off, and I couldn't figure out. There must have been some rhyme or reason that I didn't understand, but it seemed like, why are you forcing us to go straight here?
Yeah, exactly. Well, there was a comment from Dave here. He goes, why are we using the word news in capital letters when this is a bias viewpoint page? There is no actual news or reporting. It's interesting because all I do is, and Vin pointed that out too. He said, all he does is share the news on the page. So if you think that's bias, there's just sharing other people's news. So if there's any bias, it's their news to begin with, right? From the CBC got video, the local news, nothing? Okay. CBC's got video, the local news, nothing? I don't know what that means per se, but obviously Dave watches the show every day, so he must get something out of the show or he wouldn't be on every day. So that's something to be said. There must be some kind of benefit that you get out of the show, Dave. I'm thinking, right? So
I think it's got a bit of news and a bit of views. So if it was like news and views, that's probably...
Yeah, we share the news. Share the news. I share my views, you share your views, and anyone watching has the ability to share their views as well. And so that way, possibly bias can be taken out if everyone's able to share their views, right? So if I was blocking your comments, Dave, and I only shared everyone else's who agreed with my views, I can kind of see where you'd be coming from. Or if I didn't address your comments or we didn't talk about them, I could then see that for sure, which happens to me. Like, obviously I can't even get into my own Facebook account today. So that to me shows bias, if that's indeed on purpose, which I'm not saying that it is. Could just be a glitch. So if it was to be on purpose, then that would show bias. And there's a CBC reporter who just outed, they were in the national committee there, the National Inquiry or whatever to the pandemic, Citizens Inquiry, National Citizens Inquiry into how we handled it. It was a CBC reporter from Manitoba who left the CBC because she was told not to report certain things during the pandemic. And that's coming from the reporter's mouth. The horse's mouth said the organization of CBC told her not to report certain things, only to report the things that were approved, which means bias, which means censorship, which means not real news. So real news is asking questions. So I think it's like science. Everyone says trust the science. Well, trust asking questions and not really knowing the outcome. That's what it means. Science means you're always asking questions and always trying to come up with the solution. It doesn't mean it found a for sure thing. That's not science. Science is constantly asking yourself, is this right? Could we find a better answer? Could we find other solutions? That's real science. So if you're going to follow the real science, it means keep asking questions. Period.
Yeah. And I think to summarize almost like the integrity of things, and in the past couple of years, you can really see, some of the failures of, in media, segments of it anyway, and science is by what they leave out. So you have stories now, and you've got a lot of people telling the stories, and you can see which organizations are leaving out key pieces of information to shift the narrative to their perspective. And you can see each, there's, people who say there's no agendas behind certain, parts of it. I don't know. You got to wonder about that.
So expand on that just a bit, Billy, because I think you make a good point.
Well, you can take an event and look at some of the so-called right wing, some of the left wing, and you can see how like both sides will leave out. They'll sort of pack their side, almost as if like in a courtroom, you'll have like a prosecution and a defense, and it's like the prosecutor's going to just get like lay down all these things where you're like, oh my God, I think I'm sold. I think I'm with you on this. And then the other side tells their story and they bring out all this other stuff and leave out the other things. And I think if you were just kind of only engaged with one side, you would probably get a very sort of skewed version of reality.
For sure.
Because I don't think any organization is really doing it, and we're all humans too. It's impossible to be 100% unbiased when you're dealing with people who have different experiences, and different polarities to things. So,
and I think I've been transparent. We're talking about transparent. It's I think it's good if you're going to preach something or whatever, or want to come from a certain angle, that you yourself can be as good of an example of it as possible. Not that we're perfect, like you say, but I've always divulged my political leanings as well as we're having these discussions. I tend to be more on the middle right. So what used to be just middle of the road. So you can almost call me liberal. About 10 years ago, I would have been what was considered liberal back then. Middle of the road, common sense, policies that make sense, that help people, caring for those in need at the same time as rewarding those who innovate and who are productive in society, not just throwing the baby out with the bathwater and just burning everything down, and what we're seeing today. Did you hear the story, speaking of that, that they're giving out cocaine snorting kits in BC now to the high school kids?
No, I did not hear that. Is this how? Well, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, just look
sound
up.
A little over the top, though. I don't know.
It's true. So you look up Google cocaine sniffing kits BC, and you'll find all the stories you need to find on that.
Right.
Aaron Gunn broke the story. It was in Epic Times. The mainstream media, for some reason, not too keen on reporting on it. Not sure why. If you want to talk about bias in the media, all you have to do is look up cocaine snorting kits in BC high school.
This right now?
And why isn't mainstream media picking up on this? And why are we teaching our kids how to snort cocaine in high schools and giving them the wherewithal to do it? So you give them the tools. And again, we went on a bit of a rant yesterday how wrong that was. Maybe that's why I can't get in. Maybe Facebook wants everyone to be on cocaine and cracked out.
Okay,
I have no idea. So you see, that's not fake news.
Safer snorting kits.
And why is that not on CBC? That's our Canadian broadcasting corporation. You would think if I was to contact CBC and say, hey, why don't you cover these cocaine sniffing kits given out to 15-year-olds in BC and promoting cocaine snorting, you should cover that. You'd think that wasn't in the headlines.
Yeah. I think they know that might shift the needle a little bit away from the general narrative that they've been creating.
But that's not news though. That's not real unbiased news if they're not going to cover a story because it's going to shift the narrative away from a political point of view.
Oh, for sure.
That's now propaganda, which that's what they're known to be, the Communist Broadcast Corporation. Now, when I say that, communism is, by and large, what the government wants. The government says what happens. The government gives everyone. The government's like the big sow. Is the sow a correct word? And all the little piglets are the people and all suckling on the government kind of thing. That's communism. And so you take CBC and they just want everyone to hear, hear our news, is suckle on this. And it's one, like you said, it changes the narrative. I want to go to another. I want to get my nutrition from somewhere else. No, you can't. It's going to shut everything else down. So everyone's got to go to this one source. And then, so is the source trusted or not? Is it influenced by government? I think there's enough evidence out there to say if it's totally funded, 90%, whatever it is. Sure, they had a Bel Air Direct commercial on that video. They're going to get a little bit of money from, private sources, but it's mainly taxpayers' money, and government is paying for it. So you're not going to bite the hand that feeds. So to prove that, this one story alone proves it. Is that newsworthy or not? Giving cocaine kits to kids.
Sounds pretty newsworthy to me.
I think so. So let's see when we're going to, and then when it goes on, when they do cover it, possibly you just listen for spin of, it's not that bad. There's a good reason for it. Or, everyone, that was a mistake. That's what the reporter will say. Instead of a reporter being upset at this and really digging and saying, who the heck is giving cocaine kits to kids in BC in high schools? Right? So a little bit, I like CBC for any other reason than anyone else. I love the nice, calm, warm voice that you hear on the radio, the very pleasant local stories that we get, the weather, the community kind of, the idea that everyone can go to a radio station and kind of hear, again, the local news. But when it starts to get into provincial, federal, and world politics, they have some work to do if they want to be unbiased. And this is one example of that.
I can't remember who I was talking to recently, but and they were from a country again with the national government, singular news source, and they're saying what they almost had a certain advantage over there because the general population, they would hear that information, but they all knew that it's basically propaganda, and they could kind of filter it that way. And they were kind of, I guess maybe, shocked might be too strong of a word, but over here, they still get that same sense, but it's like they're kind of, but the people don't have that same sort of, filter where they have a little bit of, not skepticism, I guess, maybe.
For sure.
So they kind of maybe drink it in a little too strong without really giving it a good run through.
And how is that political when people are encouraging cocaine use to kids in high school? That's not political to me. That's just wrong. So that's not political. It means it's either right or it's wrong. Like, do you agree with giving kids cocaine? I mean, if you do, that's okay. You're entitled to that opinion. I believe it's wrong. That's my view.
Yeah.
So as biased as that is, that's my bias. I don't think kids on crack cocaine is right. So just me. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. So, and unfortunately, we got to leave it there because we're out of time.
All right.
We started late today, and I apologize for that. Hopefully, my Facebook page is up and running, or I get some kind of communication to maybe why I'm not able to access it. I don't know. But either way, it is what it is, and thanks for being with us today. Hopefully, we'll be back, God willing, same time, same place, tomorrow on the show. It'll be Friday, and it'll be sunny no matter what. So have a great, wonderful Thursday, everyone. Thanks, Billy, for being on.
Thank you.
So we'll see you sooner than later. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. We'll be back. Stay tuned now for Earshot Daily on CKLU. See ya, and have a great one. Ciao.
This is Sudbury News Talk on the morning shift.